Hey, howdy. We're back. We're doing some more Yumatuki. Sorry about the long gaps between episodes these days. It's just I gotta record during days when I have the space to myself. I don't wanna be rude to my roommate by just loudly loudly talking for 30 minutes. Not to mention the fact that the way that my room is set up right now, my the cone of sound that I would create is pointed directly in the direction of his room, and these are thin walls, so he will absolutely hear all 30 minutes of it. So I want to respect him. I know he's busy as heck this semester, but today we're doing dailies and weeklies, and we got Othello board, Crystal Lake, Lavender Waters, and I don't know where that is. I don't think. Let's do Othello board. Let's just go top to bottom. That's simple enough. So yeah. I've been having a lot of fun recently. The big change of the hour, at least for as far as yesterday goes, is a certain game came out by none other than Edmund McMillan. Mugenics has finally released. I'm going the wrong way. One moment. Mugenics has finally released. If you've never heard of Mugenics, strap in, you're in for a wild story. Because this is a game that is effectively 15 years in the making. So, if you're somehow not familiar with McMillan's game, Edmund McMillan is a legacy Newgrounds developer, and that is usually his style, is making stuff like that. Like, he's the guy that made The Binding of Isaac, Super Meat Boy, that kind of stuff. Oh, right. Day Night Towers is over here. Hang on. Oh yeah, I just walked right past it. Oops. And I never got the full story on this, partially because it's none of my business. But, Mugenics, to my understanding, was supposed to be an impromptu sequel to Super Meat Boy. A much more, weird and experimental design, and it got shot down by his collaborators. And, I mean, it reached a point that not only did it get shot down, but there were continued fractures in the group that led to the project essentially continuing without McMillan whatsoever. Now, quite frankly, I feel like that worked out for McMillan, because Isaac ended up being a massive success, despite the foibles with stuff like Afterbirth Plus. And Meat Boy is currently wallowing in self-pity. And maybe Super Meat Boy 3D is good. I have faith that it could be, but because I know the developers that are working on it are the same people that made, I believe, Hell Pie and Ben and Ed, which are both very competent 3D platformers, so that gives me hope. Another Toy World, okay. But McMillan went on to make a bunch of other games, and this is his most recent, and this, the dev cycle for Mugenics basically he worked on it for a couple of years, there was that fracture, he continued to work on it a little bit, it sort of spun out into nothing. And then once production wrapped on Isaac, and stuff properly passed over to the what's even the proper name for these developers? Team Antibirth, I guess? Kilburn and Leather Ice Cream and Nitro Sagittarius. Once work on Isaac passed back over to them, he got back to work on this game. And now, 5 or 6 years later, he's releasing it. And it's really good. It's like, it is incredible so far. Okay, let's do the Chicken World route. I don't exactly remember the route through Pancake World. I think it is just down, right, down, right, down, right, down, right, down, left. But I think either way you get to the same answer. Mackerel Desert is bottom left. So that's been fun. It is very raunchy, very, like, a stone's throw away from being kind of uncomfortable, but it's Macmillan. Like, that's kind of his thing. If I could get used to Isaac, I could absolutely get used to this. And the game is extremely fun. It's like if they made a Fire Emblem game with Magic the Gathering, like, draft mechanics. So you end up with a lot of really, really weird and cool combos. But at the end of the day, it almost reminds me of Darkest Dungeon, because, at least so far, I've only been able to go up to Area 2 out of, like, 7 or 8? Like, there's a lot of areas. And, like, you go with a group, the group is more or less random, you have a small amount of control over what abilities they have. Here's Crystal Lake. You have a small amount of control over the abilities they have, but more or less they're random right now. And you leave, you go and get money and food and whatever other provisions, and take them back to camp, rinse and repeat, slowly getting further each time. It's Darkest Dungeon. It's Darkest Dungeon coded. Makes me want to play more Darkest Dungeon, honestly. Because I have not touched that game in a while. And admittedly, last time I played it, let's get started on this path. Let's do the Infinite Library route. Where are you? Can you tell that I haven't played Tuki in a while? Okay. But right now it's very Darkest Dungeon coded, and I appreciate that. Last time I played Darkest Dungeon, if I ever record myself playing it, I have to show this group off because it was so funny. I had a group of what I could only describe as Vestal Power Rangers. I just had a group of four Vestals, 2 of which had rabies, and they were just battle clerics, all 4 of them. They would just run around and beat people to death with mauls, and heal each other, and it's like the ones with rabies have accuracy downs, but it doesn't really matter because, like, the ability that they were using already has kind of a shifty accuracy, so no matter what, I'm rolling the bones. And it's also Darkest Dungeon, so like an added bit of okay, whatever. It always kind of made me giggle that in a world as brutal and unforgiving as Darkest Dungeons, rabies is not fatal. If anything, it's one of the few diseases that you want to have. because I believe it is just a flat damage up, accuracy down. I don't think there's any extra bells and whistles to it. But it's given by... Oh god, it's been so long. Surely there's like a rabid dog or something that inflicts you with it, because I remember getting it several times. But yeah, I gotta play more Darkest Dungeon. It's been a bit. I gotta play more games. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've played more than like the same 3 games over and over again. And hey, I've said it before, that's usually a sign that I am a little depressed. But now that I'm less depressed, like, you know, now that I'm in a better mood, I should take advantage of that, right? I should go expand my horizons again. But yeah, I've been doing that. The other thing that I've been doing, and this is more of a weird thing to talk about because I don't think I've ever talked about this before. I've been listening to MF Doom. Now, I'm gonna come clean and say that I'm not usually a rap guy, but I was recommended MF Doom by a friend, and it's it's so fun. It's like MF Doom is basically, how to even describe it? The best comparison I can make is genuinely like Neil C. Sariga or something, because his stuff is so damn silly. There's a weird amount of whimsy in MF Doom, even though it's like, you know, it's like traditional rap stuff about like rolling joints and having like turf wars and banging women and stuff like that, but it's framed in the goofiest possible ways, and I love that. And in particular, there's a whole album. Ooh, hello, lag. There's a whole album called Food. We actually. Oh, this lag is new. I don't remember this happening before. Let me close some tabs and see if that helps. I kind of doubt it. I do love this place a lot. But I know I say that basically every time I come here, but that doesn't make it any less true. This place is gorgeous. But yeah, MF Doom made an album called Food, which is plot-wise, it is a fairly, like, it aligns pretty well with what you'd normally expect from a rap album. But every single song is also themed around food. And it's so damn clever with how it does things. And admittedly, the food theming does take center stage midway through the album, but like the first few tracks are just like more I don't want to say generic, but more like standard rap music premises, but also it's food. Like there's a song called Potholders that is both about potholders and also about having someone like associated with you that can hold your pot. It's stuff like that, and it's just lots of like really fun wordplay and cool rhymes and rhyming and like incorporating words that are so weird and esoteric that I can't help crack a smile. It's not on this album, but there's another song of his that I believe he released as a single called Govna, where one of the words that he uses in the song is like Oh god, I don't remember it offhand. It's like Ikekwana Jokul or something like that. It's some like it's some Icelandic volcano. But it's just like he knows ball. There's no better way to describe it. It's just he was very cultured. And he used that to his advantage to make some truly amazing music. But I gotta listen to more of his stuff. So far, I've only listened to Food and Mad Villainy, which are both amazing albums. Mad Villainy, in particular, I love. Because Mad Villainy is equal parts. It is just as silly as Food, but it also, like, the songs are generally a little bit better. And that's not to say that the songs in Food are bad. Like, they're also really good. But it's like the bar is already high. Mad Villainy brings that bar even higher. I still need to listen to Vaudevillain. I've heard that's another great one. But it's been a very fun experience. Oh, there's a person here. I now need to be slightly more self conscious because there's actual people here now. Ooh, that was clean. But yeah, today is going to be a day of doing a whole bunch of things all at once because I haven't been able to do them until today. But for what it's worth, I know for a fact that I'm not going back home for the weekend this week. So I'm going to use this time to like tie up loose ends and start working on other projects and all that jazz. Because again, anytime it seems like I've forgotten about a project, like I can say with confidence, I never forget. I never forget. I have the memory of an elephant and the anxiety of one to boot. So if it seems like I've forgotten about something, no, I haven't. I just other things have come up, and I will get to it eventually. And I mean, be that as it may, I have been pushing off some of these projects for a while. Like Final Fantasy in particular, I just feel bad. It's like I went out of my way to say like, yeah, this is the part of the game where it actually gets fun, and then I stopped. I stopped playing for like months because I got walled by Leviathan, and then other stuff came up, and then other stuff came up, and then other stuff came up, and then other stuff came up. That's just how it goes sometimes. But I want to come back to it. I want to keep playing it. Because admittedly, it's not a perfect game, but there's so many aspects of that game that are so fun and also genuinely so influential on my own world building and design tendencies. Is it a perfect game? Absolutely not. But is it fun? Yeah, I'd say so. like the real star of the show is the game's art style, but the game itself is still fun. Especially like if I can go out of my way to get a bunch of gems to upgrade my crowns and get new abilities and stuff, the game is going to get a lot more fun. And I think that should be that's going to be my top priority. Underground Labyrinth. Or Labyrinth. Underground Laboratory. I'm not sure where to go next. Because I was gonna say I should go to one of the new areas that was added in one of the patches, but like, I don't know, we're already like 20 minutes in. So, frankly, I kind of just want to do All Reliable and maybe go to a cocktail lounge and chill. That seems like that could be fun. So that's what? Heart World, Valentine World, Cyber Maze, Cocktail Lounge? The other big thing that I ended up doing recently was I watched a Deltarune fan animation that was quite good. Now, I'm gonna say up front that I don't normally watch a lot of like Undertale or Deltarune fan stuff. Nothing against the people that make that kind of stuff though, because like, you know, there's an absurd amount of work that goes into projects like that. And like they do sometimes come across as very like campy and unserious, but like, you know, I can respect the workload. And there's so much cool stuff that comes out of projects like that. But I ended up watching Friends Till the End, which was the continuation on what was it called? One Hell of a Ride. And it was really good. It was like really, really cool and well made. Loved the animations. And like my one complaint is that the music was a tad shaky, but the guy admitted up front that he's not really a musician. But even with that in mind, it was great. Like I had a lot of fun with it. And like the whole premise of it is that it was a weird route, tainted, fucked up evil version of the previous version of the boss. So all of the attacks were very like withered and messed up. And then even after that, as the fight progressed, it slowly went from that to like tapping into the influence for the original fight, where it was meant as like a joke about like rubber hose cartoons and like classic cartoons. And this iteration instead was referencing a whole bunch of disturbing moments from cartoons. And like moments from cartoons that scared you as a kid. And I was fully expecting to be rolling my eyes once I realized that this was happening, but like it works so well. Genuinely, I'm so impressed with the references themselves and also how they were incorporated into the game without feeling too forced. They did feel a little like slightly forced, but it never took me out of it. I was able to clock, like, yes, this is pretty obviously a reference, but it didn't, like, kill my enjoyment or anything. Because it was still a cool reference. And, like, off the top of my head, I'm trying to think what references there even were. There was a SpongeBob reference in there that was very obvious, but was also a cool reference and also not one that people don't usually reference. Because off the dome, there was You're Not Perfect from Courage the Cowardly Dog. There's a the Lich from Adventure Time, I believe. There was a YouTube comment that was laying all these out, and I haven't seen Adventure Time yet, so I didn't recognize that offhand. There was apparently the Walrus from Teletubbies. There was the Ghost from SpongeBob, which is a great pull. Because it's that one classic SpongeBob episode where he like dresses up as a ghost, and then the entire episode you're wondering, okay, wait, why is he round? What did he do? And as it happens, he shaved off bits of sponge until he was shaped like a ghost. So he takes off the sheet, and it's just all that's left is like a brain and eyes, and it's mortifying. I forgot there were outfits here. Wait, these are so cute! Aww. This looks awesome. You straight up look like Aya Dravis from Mad Father. But I guess pink instead of red, and blonde instead of brunette. But the general shape is there. The flowy dress and the comically large bow. But what else was referenced? There was I didn't even know about this one. It was called like Counting to 10 with Nobody, I think. And it was a reference to a very old Jim Henson Sesame Street bit where it was like rubber band animations of counting to 10, and it is scary as hell. I can see why it went unused, because it would have traumatized a lot of kids. It probably would have scared me to death if I had seen it. Oh, Halloween Zone. Cute. I'm kind of just going in directions. I forgot all this was here. I don't remember if this is even still natal stuff. I think it is. Oh. Oh. Okay, this has got to be natal stuff. This is like exactly their color palette. Oh my god, they do react to trombone. That's awesome. Can I do anything else in this room? Oh, I can kill the lamplighter. I see. Yeah, okay. Let's see this event while we're here. I'm sorry, lamplighter. It's not personal. Jesus Christ. Natal does not hold back with this kind of imagery. You can just murder a person. But yeah, continue to progress like that. And the last thing that it showed... Oh, this doesn't... Not open anymore. Cool. It continued to progress like that, and then one of the last things that it showed was a spoof on Pink Elephants on Parade from Dumbo, which is such a cool reference and a great way to cap it off. Oh. Damn, I don't know if I've done this yet. But if you've never heard of Pink Elephants on Parade, it is a oh. Huh. Oh my god, the atmosphere. The atmosphere. It's very loud, but like, come on, that's so cool. Trapping you in my murder teleport maze with banging music. It's so awesome, man. CD. Ooh. Very cool. E. F. Oh, funky guys. Curious about this bit. Oh, is it just visiting here? Yeah, okay. So you go back to the start. I think the sprite is the same. God, it looks so cool though. And then this leads to Celestial Knight. Got it, got it, got it. Oh my god, and it pops out in this room. Yeah, Celestial Knight. And you can like, you can walk around in this area too, and there's like the area with the little bunny that I go to. But yeah, I guess I'll call it here. That was such a cool way to end it. I was just going off in random directions. But yeah, I've got a bunch of other things I want to do today, so I'm gonna. I don't want to linger too long, especially because I might have other videos I want to record today. But yeah, that's all I got for now. Thanks so much for watching, y'all.